All right, welcome back to Reflections, everyone, where we talk about all things Church of Christ with the Elijah message. It is wonderful to be back with you, spending this time together. So we're continuing our discussion on the idea that the prophets and the patriarchs of old knew of the coming of the Messiah. So let's return to the record of the Nephites. Let's go to the book of Mosiah, chapter 13. So the prophet Abinadi is preaching against the people, and he's preaching against the wicked King Noah, and he's put into prison. Then afterward he is questioned by King Noah and his priest. And so Abinadi has just gone over the 10 Commandments, and this is where we're going to be picking up in verse 25. And it came to pass that after Abinadi had made an end of these things, he said unto them, Have ye taught this people that they should observe to do all these things, for to keep these commandments, the 10 Commandments that he just went over? And I say unto you, Nay. For if ye had, the Lord would not have caused me to come forth and to prophesy evil concerning this people. And now ye have said that salvation cometh by the law of Moses. And I say unto you that it is expedient that ye should keep the law of Moses as yet. But I say unto you that the time shall come when it shall no more be expedient to keep the law of Moses. And moreover, I say unto you that salvation doth not come by the law alone. So the law of Moses has an important part to play in the redemption story, and we're going to be talking about that a little later on. And it were not for the atonement which God himself shall make for the sins and iniquities of his people, that they must unavoidably perish, notwithstanding the law of Moses. And now I say unto you that it was expedient that there should be a law given to the children of Israel, yea, even a very strict law. For they were a stiff-necked people, quick to do iniquity, and slow to remember the Lord their God. Therefore there was a law given to them, yea, a law of performances and of ordinances, a law which they were to observe strictly from day to day, to keep them in remembrance of God, and their duty towards him. But behold, I say unto you, that all these things were types of things to come. And now, did they understand the law? I say unto you, nay, they did not all understand the law. And this because of the hardness of their hearts. For they understood not that there should not any man be saved, except it were through the redemption of God. For behold, did not Moses prophesy unto them concerning the coming of the Messiah, and that God should redeem his people? Yea, and even all the prophets which have prophesied ever since the world began, have they not spoken more or less concerning these things? Have they not said that God himself should come down among the children of men, and take upon him the form of man, and go forth in mighty power upon the face of the earth? And have they not said also that he should bring to pass the resurrection of the dead? That he himself should be oppressed and afflicted? So Abinadi is making the claim that even Moses knew of the coming of the Messiah. And he continues here in chapter 14 to quote Isaiah 53. A part of these suffering servant songs, there are 4 of them, and I'm sure we're going to do a video on them. Yea, even doth not Isaiah say, Who hath believed our report? And to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of dry ground. He hath no form or comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And we hid as it were our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we were healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way, and the Lord hath laid on him the iniquities of us all. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before his shearer is dumb, so he opened not his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment. And who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgressions of my people was he stricken. And he made his grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, because he had done no evil, neither was any deceit in his mouth. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. He hath put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed. He shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. He shall see of the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquities. Therefore I will divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he hath poured out his soul unto death, and he was numbered with the transgressors. And he bare the sins of many, and made intercession for the transgressions. And now Abinadi saith unto him, I would that ye should understand that God himself shall come down among the children of men, and shall redeem his people. What a powerful, powerful scripture that is. My brothers and sisters, it's been wonderful spending this time with you, thinking about these things, reflecting on them. In our next video, we're going to continue with this discussion. Until next time, I invite you into the Elijah Message House.